Hi yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome to My Yoga Time. Today's yoga snack is super short for when you're really short on time. We're focusing on both lengthening and strengthening, and I've got one block as well for this practice. So we'll start standing, coming into our tree pose, turning your left knee out to the side. So for some, you might choose just to balance on those toes. Maybe you can lift a little higher to the calf or all the way up to the thigh, but just avoid hanging on that knee joint. So coming up as high as you comfortably can. Once there, push the foot into the leg into the foot. So you're creating a little more stability around the hips. Tuck the tailbone under, and we'll take those hands to prayer. So you might choose to stay here or extend those arms up. You can open out the hands, feel free to take your mudra. Or if you're feeling really stable, a little side bend over to the left. So you're leaning towards the bent knee. So keep tucking the tailbone under and maintain that pressure between the foot and the thigh. Breathe into the right side waist. Relax the jaw and position your tongue where the tip of the tongue, where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Try to keep your tongue in that position for the entire class. Consider it to be another mudra. Let's inhale to come all the way up. Bring those hands back to prayer. Point that left knee forward and lift it up as high as you can. Push the palms together, draw the shoulders down and feel the armpits firm. Inhale, and as you exhale, bending the right knee as well, lower down into your chair pose. Let's have those feet hip width apart and try and squeeze the heels in here. Inhale, and as you exhale, fall forward. Half lift as you inhale, fingertips on the mat or hands to the knees. Exhaling to bow, and then reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. We'll take our tree pose on the other side. So right knee bending, turn the right knee out. If you can, find the same height as you did on the other side. Push the foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot, tailbone tucking under. Either staying here or lifting the arms up. Option to take your side bend. Be with your breath. Inhale to come up. We'll bring those hands together again. Point that right knee forward, lifting up as high as you can. Point the toes to the ceiling as well. Begin to round out the upper back, push the armpits down and lowering down, chair pose. Squeezing those heels in. Inhale, and as you exhale, folding down. So we're going to come up 3 times, and as we do, lift the arms, extend them out in front. So again, we'll squeeze the heels in, lower belly firm. Inhale halfway up, thumbs point to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more. Strong in the back, strong in the core. And last one. Well done. So I'm just going to spin around. From here, we'll step back into your downward facing dog. So option to stay as you are, or raise the right leg coming into a 3-legged dog. You might choose to keep the hips square and the legs straight. If it's available for you, lift the right hip and bend the knee. So you're stacking right hip on top of the left, looking under your armpit, flexing that right foot as though you're trying to kick something away. Press into the pads of the fingers. Inhale to straighten the leg, square the hips, and step that right foot forward into lizard pose. So take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Now if you need to, if you're quite tight in the hips, you could always place your block underneath your hands. Let's keep hands underneath the shoulders. Try and squeeze the feet towards one another. Draw the hands back as you reach the heart forward. Checking the position of your tongue, the softness in your jaw, and the smoothness in your breath. Press into the left palm, inhale, find your twist. Now press the feet away from one another. And exhale, right hand down. Lower left knee down, taking half pyramid pose. So we'll stay lifted for this one, lifting the heart and the tailbone, feeling a little back bend here. Try to draw that right heel back as you reach the heart forward. The tip of the tongue is still placed where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold over that leg, rounding the back now and pushing down and forward with the palms. From here, let's walk those hands forward. Option to take a standing split. So you might choose to keep your fingertips on the floor. A little more challenging if you bring them back in line with the foot, or holding onto the ankle with one or both hands. Pressing through the ball of that left foot and flaring out your toes. Inhale, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Let's raise the left leg, opening out the hip, bending the knee, looking under your armpit, flexing that left foot, pressing into the pads of the fingers. And then we'll straighten the leg, square the hips, step that foot forward to the outside of the left hand, coming into your lizard pose. Here we're pressing the feet towards one another, drawing the hands back and the heart forward. Now let's press those feet away from one another as we lift the left arm up, coming into your twist. And exhale, left hand down, lower right knee down, finding your pyramid pose, half pyramid pose. High on those fingertips to begin with, tailbone and heart lifting. Exhaling to fold over the leg, pressing down through the palms, rounding out the spine. And then walking those hands forward, moving into your standing splits. Inhale. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. And then step forward in between the hands. Ground your left foot parallel to the short side of the mat, and then just turn the toes in just slightly. Having your right hand on the inside of the right foot. Now, some of you might like to use your block here. Others will be fine with those fingertips, just your fingertips. The palm can be lifted. So we're going to press the feet away from one another, push your right arm into your right leg, lift your left arm overhead, and then round out the back. So tucking your tailbone under and your upper back as well as rounding. Either staying here or picking up that right heel. Spacious breath into the side waist. Exhale to lower that heel down and walk your hands towards your left foot, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So just pigeon toe the toes a little, so they're slightly more narrow than the heels. Inhale to come halfway up, and then exhale to fold. So we're pressing the feet away from one another, lifting arches of the feet, lifting kneecaps, quads are engaged, fingertips can interlace behind the lower back, and then straightening the arms, allowing the knuckles to point towards the ceiling. Inhale, and And as you exhale, lower those hands down and walk the hands towards your left foot. We'll take the side angle pose on this side. So right foot parallel to the short side of the mat, then turn the toes in just a little. Bend in that left knee. Stretching the mat with your feet, extending right arm overhead. Pushing left arm into the left leg. Rounding out the back, option to pick up that left heel. Inhale and exhale, lower down. So if your knees and hips permit, we're going to move from one side to the other now, bending in your right knee as you straighten your left leg. Now as you straighten the left leg, engage the quad, pull up the kneecap. You might choose to keep your fingers low and walk from one side to the other, or a little stronger if you bring your hands to prayer, strong in the legs. Well done. Next time we take the hands to the right foot, we'll turn into a lunge. Step back into your last downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank and make it a forearm plank. Come down onto those forearms, rounding out the back, so tailbone tucking, upper body is round. Either staying here or if you'd like to work into the obliques, left hip down to the mat and then back to center. Right hip down to the mat and back to center. Lowering all the way down to the mat, extend the hands out in front. Try and pull the hands back as you lift the heart. And lower down, hands under shoulders. Let's push up into tabletop. From here, we're going to thread the needle, taking the right arm underneath the left. You could always place a block underneath your right ear for support. Let's extend left arm out in front, high up in the palm, just fingertips pressing down. Option to take your mudra through your right hand and firm your right arm down into the mat as you squeeze your shoulders together. Let's change sides. Try to keep those hips square. Notice if they're swinging off to one side. And inhale to come up. Well done. So we're going to come down onto our backs. If you have a block, make sure you can reach it. So heels pressing down, toes to the ceiling, hands to prayer, roll down. When you touch down, bring those feet a little closer to the bottom, feet are hip width apart. Let's turn the palms to face the ceiling, find your mudra. Squeeze the heels in as you lift those hips up. And we'll move into a more restorative variation now, placing your block underneath your tailbone or your lower back. You might choose to keep the legs bent, or if it feels okay for your back, you can straighten and relax the legs. And just observing the body move with the ebb and flow of the breath. One more breath here. And then lifting the hips and the heels together. Remove your block. Come down one vertebrae at a time. When you touch down, cup the hands over the knees. Arms as straight as you inhale. Bend the elbows as you exhale. Next inhalation, bring those feet to the floor. Move the hips over a touch to the left, crossing left leg over the right. Let's move into a twist, placing the block underneath your knee for support. If it feels okay for your neck, move the back of the head a touch to the right and turn the head to the left. Breathe into the lower belly, the lower back. Inhale the legs to center. Let's uncross and change sides. Hips move a touch to the right. Right leg over the left. Exhaling into your twist. Inhale, legs back to center, uncrossing the legs, and let's move into Shavasana. Tucking the shoulders under, palms to face the ceiling. Option to take your mudra once again. Relaxing the forehead, letting the eyes roll back. So even when you're short on time, Shavasana is the most important pose. Here is where our body resets and we assimilate the positive benefits of our practice. So please do take a few minutes here, yogis. Here is where I'll leave you today. I hope you enjoyed the practice. If so, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Have a lovely day. Namaste.